learned this lesson the hard way, so you don't have to. I don't fucking know. What really made me realize I can't be in this relationship anymore, what I guess the nail in the coffin, what really sealed it in for me was that this man would trigger me and make me feel like that scared little girl that didn't know how to stand up for herself and felt really small and insignificant and not worth anything. My father brought out that same exact feeling. The fact that my ex was bringing up so many old wounds that I was still actively healing through, and quite literally reminded me of my father in the worst possible way. That's what really did it for me. If you're bringing out those demons and if you're making me feel like I am worth absolutely nothing to you, that was my sign. That was my sign. And I remember having a conversation with my mom about this. Because ironically, she was also going through some relationship issues. And so I was in like this field in the middle of nowhere, and I was crying to my mom, and I was saying like, Mom, he makes me feel like my dad did when I was a little girl. And like just saying those words out loud made me realize, what am I literally what am I doing here? I'm in the middle of nowhere. I have no family. I have no friends. I'm at a job I absolutely hate. And it's all for what? Like, this town isn't even fun. It's in the middle of nowhere with people that are, like, stuck in the 1950s. Like, I am... What am I doing? And that's the moment that I realized I have to get out. And then, of course, I was thinking, well, how am I going to do that? I don't have a job. I don't have money. I don't have anything. But... you know, it became very, very obvious that at that time I was supposed to move back home. And my parents, even though they were like having relationship issues, they welcomed me with open arms. Open arms. Despite the shit that they were going through, they didn't care. They just didn't want me to be in an unhealthy, unsafe situation anymore. Because like when me and like my ex would fight, it would put me into survival mode to the point where I literally felt like my life was in danger. Like, it wasn't even just that, oh, he's triggering me into feeling like no. Like, I genuinely didn't know if I was actually in danger or not. Not. And it started to feel like at any moment he could snap. And you know, I wouldn't exist anymore because he just decided to take matters into his own hands. Like, that's what it was heading towards. And I've never felt like my life and my safety were in danger like that with anyone except for him. And I never want to feel that ever again. Despite having absolutely nothing to go back to other than loving parents, to my old childhood bedroom. Like, that's all I had. I had parents that loved me, and I had my old bedroom, and I still had my car. That was it. That was it. I remember it was one night we had this really bad fight, and something clicked in me. Something clicked. I was like, I can't do this anymore. I don't really care that I have to start over somewhere else. I don't care that I have to start over back where I already was. This isn't worth it. Me being a shell of myself, me being depressed, anxious, absolutely miserable with no one in support of me. No one. His dog. That was like the only thing I felt any kind of love, any close look. Because boxers are something else. Like, you look into the boxer's eyes and it feels like there's a human being in there. There's something about their eyes that are just so warm and loving, and I don't know what it is, but his dog was the only thing that made me feel loved. It just clicked in me one night. He was at work one day, and I packed up all my stuff in less than a couple of hours, and I left. I sent him a text after I left saying that, like, I can't do this anymore, we're gone. And before I left, we had already, like, broken up for, like, the third or fourth time. So, like, it wasn't, like, it was that out of the blue. But, like, I'm sure he probably didn't think or expect that I was going to just up and do that. But at that point, I didn't care about being considerate because he never gave me that. So why would I feel bad for just up and leaving? But that's what I did. I left because I knew staying there wasn't worth it. I was really lucky that I had some place to go back to. I was really lucky. And I thank God every day that that things just happened to work out like that. But this isn't to say that you shouldn't move in with someone too quick. Like, I'm not saying that if it feels right, don't do it. It's not my life. It's yours. I'm just saying, take this story and be careful. Be careful moving in with someone, and be careful starting a life with someone if you don't really know them that well. At least give it a few months to feel it out more, because I neglected to do that. I'm thinking, oh, I knew this person for a certain amount of time, but I didn't really know them because we never really actually took the time to even get to that point, even when I was in college. So, like, I quite literally moved in with a stranger that I was just familiar with, and that's a scary thought. So, like, and I'm not even saying, like, starting a relationship, like, a few weeks later is bad. It's not. Like, I actually... my now relationship, we started dating and got serious and moved in pretty quick as well. It wasn't as quick as the last time, but it was still pretty quick. So I'm not saying that this can't work out. I'm just saying you really gotta get to know people. Like, seriously. It's a scary world out there, and don't make the same mistake I did.